So, so see, if you have to know about programming language, what are the things you need to know? You need to know syntax, right?
Yeah.
Then data types,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
How to do loops, how to do conditions.
Yes. Yes.
So these are the basic things. Okay, so we learn these basics. Then maybe how to write functions.
Okay.
Now, after doing basics, okay. Now, if you have to go to, if you want to get into data analytics, you need to know about data frames, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Which is again data type only.
Okay.
Okay. And then maybe learn about how to run algorithms,
Yes, sir.
right? So
Yes, sir.
these are the things that we will learn. Okay. So
Okay.
syntax here is very much like Python, but there's a main one big difference. So there's one big difference that here, okay, the indentation is not important. Instead of indentation, we use brackets, very much like C++ programming. So if you have done C++ programming, Java programming, they use indentation, sorry, a bracket, a curly bracket, and here also, something like that we do. But that is only for, I mean, that's not a big difference, okay? But definitely in terms of programming, that is a big difference, okay? Of course, we'll come to know later. Let's start with data types first,
Okay.
okay? Now, we have similar data types, basic data types. What are those basic data types? Integer, okay,
Yeah.
float, okay. Um, here, the string is called character.
Okay.
Called character, but it's still the same thing, okay? Boolean, right? We
Yes,
call
sir.
them as logical here. And you have complex, right? So here too, we have these type of data types. Now, when you talk about array, like list, tuple, dictionary, things like that.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
here we have things like vectors.
Okay.
Vectors, you have lists, you have matrices, which is NumPy kind of thing. Okay, you have arrays, which is multi-dimensional matrices, 3-dimension, 4-dimension matrices.
Yes.
Okay, then you have factors. Now factors, okay, is like categorical data, right? So if you remember in Python, if we had categorical data, what did we do?
Uh, we just try to transformation, sir. Like
Correct. So we
in
converted
numbers.
into multiple columns, this,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
Because we do not have categorical data representation there. In R, okay, we have a separate data type called factors, okay, where we say that it is categorical data, and what it helps us to automatically handle. So one less step is required. You don't have to
Okay.
handle categorical data in R, because when you declare it as a factor, automatically algorithm will handle it. That's the same thing, okay? What we
Okay.
manually do in Python is done automatically by
Ah,
our algorithm when you declare that as a factor.
okay.
So you have vector, list, matrices, array, factor, and then data frames, of course, for the table thing.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to declare a vector. Now vector is similar to list, but there's a one big difference. Difference is list you can have any data types, right? List, you can have 5 members, and one could be one could be string, other could be integer, but in vector it has to be same data type. Okay, it cannot have different data types. So logic goes that if you are creating a column, right? Now data in the column will have same data type, isn't it? It
Yes,
cannot
sir.
have multiple data type,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right? So you cannot have vector which has multiple data types. So I'm going to create a vector. So let's say I call it as var1 equal to. Now to create a vector, okay, so here when you're creating, see in Python we had simple bracket, curly bracket, square bracket for different types of data types. Here, everything we use simple bracket, okay? But we write the function name. For C is to create a vector. So when you say var1 equal to C of, it becomes a vector. Now I can say 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I can say print var1. Okay. Now when I run it, I'm running line number 24. Okay. Now I'm running line number 25. See, it has printed 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it has printed 1, 2, 3. Now what I'll do is I will add a character here. After 3, I'll add, let's say 4 as a character. Now when I run it, see what happened. What do you notice here?
It has considered remaining all also of the same last data type.
String data type or character data type.
Yes.
Okay. Because this accepts only
One data type.
this
Vector.
accepts only one. Yeah. This accepts only one data type. Okay. So
Okay.
if you give integer and string, okay, integer cannot do, string cannot be converted into integer. We saw that,
Yes.
right? But you can convert integer to string, right? Everything can be converted to string, right?
Yes, yes,
But string, not all string can be converted back. So instead of converting 4 to integer, it has converted
1,
everything
2, 3
else to
strings.
string or character data type,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, so that's why when you declare something as vector, it is all about same data type.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so that's of course that's about this. Now so here, okay, let me create. Okay, now if you want to know the data type, okay, so we used type in we use type where in Python.
Yes.
Here we
Yes,
use
sir.
class. Okay,
Okay.
so if I say print class of var1 character, because it has all characters inside.
Yes.
Okay, now if you want to put
So,
so one
sir,
go ahead.
so in ours, it will show line by line on what they have put in and then what the output is, right? The input and output in the.
No, so I told you Python also does same thing only. No, Python also does same thing. PyCharm will hide it so that you only get the output.
Oh, okay.
Python also does the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. It
Okay.
is your Python screen bottom, just like PyCharm had output screen.
Yeah.
So PyCharm would hide this intermediate steps, only show you the print steps.
Yeah.
But here you will see. But if you want to do something like that, you can go and say source, okay, without echo. If you do, you get only the print thing.
Okay.
You get only the print stuff. You don't get the step by step.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
you have var1 class of var2. Now, if you want to print more than one variable, right? I want to print, let's say print data type is, and then I want to say class of var1. You can't do it here. Print will only accept one variable, unlike your Python or any other, even C, C++, you can give, it accepts only one. If you want to print two variables or two parameters, okay, you have something called as paste or cat. Mostly we use cat.
Okay.
You should use cat, not print. Okay.
So if
Data
we
type
run previous
is,
statement, it won't work.
you saw that error right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
print will only accept one data type. Print will accept only one parameter.
Okay.
Okay, only one variable, only one parameter, not more than one parameter. If you have
Okay, sir.
multiple parameters, you should use cat. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So print cat is done. Now let's, okay. So now if I create, okay, you saw what character is, right? Now let
Mm.
me, okay, I'll remove 4. Now let's run this and see what happens. See, you get numeric.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Numeric, okay, is the float equivalent, okay, in R.
Okay.
Numeric.
Okay, sir.
Numeric.
Integer, sir?
Wait, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So numeric, okay, whether you give 1, 2, 3, 4, or you give 1.1, 2.0, 3.7, okay, you get numeric only. Okay, so numeric, okay, so even if you do not give point, Python automatically understands it's integer, but not here.
Sir?
Okay, yes, yes, tell me.
So
Whatever
okay.
I'm saying, you understand. Okay, we'll
Yes,
talk
sir.
about what will happen later.
Yeah, okay. Yes, sir.
Right?
Okay. Got it.
Right? Okay. Now, question is, if you want to declare integer, how do you do that? You have to specifically mention that you have to declare integer. How? So, okay, here you will say 3L. L stands for integer. L.
Okay.
Have to add, because see, mostly when you do with data types, you don't need to use integer. Mostly it will be numeric, isn't it? When you doing data analysis,
Yes, sir.
right? So that's why it says, okay, by default, let's assume numeric only. That's why it's not calling float, it's saying numeric. Numeric wins both integer and float, technically, if you see. Correct? Number. Numeric wins number, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But if you are forcing it to be integer, then you put L. L means you are forcing it to be integer.
Integer. Okay.
Okay, so L stands for as integer, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
So sir, instead of just putting 1 or something, why do we have to put that L, even though if it's an integer? Because 1 is also an integer.
Dhwanit, you have to be awake. What did I say? Can you, Pujita, explain to him?
You said L is forces it
Correct,
to be
correct.
an
Pujita,
integer, right?
Yes, sir.
can you explain him?
It's syntax, Dhwanit. L stands for when they have designed the language, they have designated L for forcing it as to be read as integer.
See, your
Okay, you're
integer
not
and
supposed to
float,
change the
integer and float both are numeric numbers, right? So that's why R has numeric to indicate, even if you don't give point, it assumes it's a numeric. Because when you deal with data, it will be numbers. But if you want to deal with only integer, see, when you deal with numbers, you cannot say to your teacher that you give me only grade in integer, right? When you say
Yeah.
grade is a number, it can be anything. It can be 7, 7.1, right?
Yeah.
But if you're forcing it to be integer type, then you say L. So, okay, that's how R is. Okay, R will say, that's why it does not have any special word for float. It does not have float or a real or anything like that. Numeric, any number is number. But if you want it to be integer, because see, 5 is integer, 3 is integer. When you divide 5 by 3, it becomes a float, right? So numbers can be float, integer anytime. Correct? So
Yeah. Okay.
if you do not want it to be anything, you want it to be integer only, then you have to start saying L, L, L.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Now, so we have done, okay, we have not done Boolean, right? And
Yes.
we have not done, complex, okay. So Boolean is also called as here logical, okay? Okay, logical. So in Python, we are supposed to give true and false, like first letter capital, rest small, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
But here, everything has to be capital.
Okay.
Everything has to be
Capital.
okay.
Yes.
So now when I run it, okay, what happened? Yeah, logical, right? So it's
Yeah.
okay. Next is complex. Now here, complex, just like mathematics, we write in I only, not J in like Python.
Okay.
I can say 3I, okay, 2I, or maybe 5 plus 2I, or 1I. Complex. 1I is written as 0 plus 1I. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is called as vector. Okay. And
Okay.
we write with C. It is like list, but one big difference is that you cannot have different data types. You cannot have different data types, right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Now the next type is called list. which is very similar to list in
Python.
Python. Yeah. So I call it as, let's say, var2. Okay. And here, okay. Now, you have C, right? Instead of C, you put list. Except vector, everything will have, like array will have array, matrix will have matrix, okay, list will have list function. Only vector will have C function.
Okay.
Okay. So list, you can say list of 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you run it, okay. Okay, I'm doing var1, right? That's why it's showing var2. var2. Okay. So see, you get now the way it has displayed is different. Can you see the
Yeah.
output and tell me how it has displayed? What is the logic?
Mm. The indexing also, it is considering a separate list, maybe, sir.
No, no. See, list is, see, so your vector is one dimensional. Okay.
Okay.
Now here, okay, okay, here if you see what it has done, it has said first first column, you can say, assume this is the first value, second, may this is the first value, third, first value. Now instead of, let's say I add, let's say, comma C of, I'm adding a vector as fifth number, right? It can have anything, right? So I can add a vector also. So if I say 10, comma 20, comma 30, and now when I run it, so see, it is 1, 10, 20, 30. This one that you see here, okay, is a position. Okay, so one more thing, in R, position starts with 1, indexing starts with 1,
Okay.
not 0 like Python.
0. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so here counting or your index starts with 1, not like 0, not with 0. Okay, so that is okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is like your position. Okay, now
Okay. Sir.
what it indicates is that the first value that you see here, okay, the value that you see here is position 1. Now for example, okay, let me add multiple values here. Okay, so if I go here, not here, okay, now let me run it and show you. So you see this, right? 1 and 48. That means the index of this is 1 and
Okay.
index of 30 is 48. So you have 1 to 47 in first row.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you reduce it, so see, it says from here till here it is 47, and this is your 48th element.
Okay.
Okay. So here now you see,
Yes.
here to here is 17 elements, and now you have 18th element from here. This is 35th element. So you don't have to have a count. You can look at it and you can,
Okay.
guess and
Okay.
predict, how many elements are there in your data. So that's the
Okay.
count.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So
And
we
the
have
first
seen
number
list.
indicates totally how many elements are there. Like 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and C part is 1. So
Correct.
that is indicated by the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Correct. Correct.
Yes.
So you have list, then matrices.
Okay.
Okay. So matrices, I can say var 3 equal to matrix. Okay, matrix is a function. Okay, so here everything we are using as a function only. Okay, so C function or list function or matrix function. So I put matrix, and here I will add, say I'm going to add C 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So how many elements I have now? 10 elements, right?
Yeah.
To make it 12 elements. Okay, so this is the element. So this is the element of matrix. Now, how many rows and how many column you want? N row equal to 4 and n col equal to 3. Now in matrix, you also have an option to tell the elements that you are giving 5, 10, 15, you want it to be added by column or by row.
Okay.
If you say by row, then the elements will go in first row, okay,
Yes,
then
sir.
second row, then third row, so on. Okay, so
Okay.
here I'm going to put it by row. So I'm going to say by row equal to true. By row. And how do I write true?
All caps.
All caps, yes. So I'm going to say TRU. Now you can print var 3. Okay, I'll make it false. You can select both and run it. Okay,
Okay.
click on run. So it only those two lines will be. See, this is your index, comma 1. Okay, comma 1 means the before comma it is row. After comma it is column. So comma 1 means column 1. 1 comma means row 1. Correct? So this is row 1. So 1 comma 1 is 5. 3 comma 2 will be 40. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now let's say if I make it 4, you have only 12 elements. 4 into 4 will need 16 elements.
Yes.
Okay. Now what will it do? So it says that since size differs, okay, it has warned you the size has differed. So what it has done, it has put this till 60, and then from
Okay.
first elements will start again.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, sir.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the matrix is done. Then arrays, right?
Yeah.
So data types loops, conditions, functions are winning. Okay, so let's do this. Arrays and factor. Data frame we'll do at the last.
Okay.
Okay. So next array. So array, of course, where 4. Okay. Now again, I see equal to. Okay. There are multiple ways of doing equal to here. Okay. In R. Now I say var 4 equal to, let's say 5, or I can say var 4 arrow less than hyphen 5. Less than hyphen like arrow, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And what kind of arrow it is? Go left, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So that means we are saying 5 should go to the left.
Okay.
5 should go to the left. You can say 5 go right.
Okay.
You can also do go right. Hyphen greater than. So it's not only that value from right side will go to left side. Values from left side can also go to right side.
Okay.
It's not always y equal to x. It can be x to y, means
Yeah.
x should go into y.
Yeah, means the constant value should go into that variable value.
No, you can have something like this also.
Var 4 right hyphen. Oh, okay. That's what my doubt is. Okay.
Can be anything.
Okay, sir.
Why only, yeah, why only fixed? Can be anything.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Equal. Okay, we're talking about arrays, right? So now I can even say var 6 equal to, correct?
Yes, sir.
Array. Now I can give the values here. Here by default it is by row. Okay, you cannot do by column. So you did, and then you have to say dimension, dim. Dim is dimension, and this is again a vector. And you tell what dimension you want. You want 3 dimension, 4 dimension, 5 dimension. Okay, let's do a 3 dimension. 3 dimension, then how many rows, how many columns, how many the third dimension? Let's say I say 2, 3, 2 or 3 maybe, yeah. So here we need 2 into 3, 18 elements, isn't it? See the output and then let me know. The output is from here till here.
So by default, it is taking column wise 5, 10, 15, 20 like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is here we have actually while declaring, we've considered 12 elements. And as it needs 8 into 3 is 6, 6 3 is 18, it has gone again from the beginning and considered 6 more elements. And starting the first highlighted line in the output indicates this is one side, sir. Like if we consider a cube as it is 3-dimensional, one face of this, the other side, second dimension, x, y, y, z, z, x sort of thing, sir. 1, 2, 3.
Correct. So did you understand? X we are saying 2. So
Yeah,
how many rows we will have?
2 rows.
2 rows. Okay. Then
Yeah.
we talk about columns.
3 columns, yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And then
Last
how
3
Z
is
is
3-dimensional, number of dimensions.
right.
Okay. So if in place of 3, if we go for 2 in the last,
Let me know if we can move ahead.
yes, sir.
You can move.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've
Okay.
tried it with changing the number of dimensions 3 to 4.
Okay. Okay. So we are done. What is left? Factor is left.
Yeah, factor
Okay.
and data frame.
data frame. Okay, data frame we'll do at the end. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So factor is left. So for factor, okay. Let's say I give values here, var7 equal to C of, let's say, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, blue. Get a value, right? So it has to be repeated values, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is like a normal vector. Okay.
Okay.
If you have to convert into a factor, I have to say var7, okay, equal to factor of var7.
Okay.
Okay. Now you get this as factor. So you can say print class of var7. You can print var7 and you can print how many levels you want, right? So you have n levels of var7. See, factor red, green, blue, green, red. Levels are blue, red. So B comes first because of the alphabetical order. B, G, then R. And
Okay.
total levels are 3.
Printing the same. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So directly in 6911 we have first declared a vector, no, sir.
Mhm.
In place of 69, can't we go for directly 70, in the sense directly declaring a factor?
Array, after doing 3 years, 3 months of program, if you ask me same questions, what should I tell you, Pujita?
Yes, sir. I mean to this one only, sir. Like
And
you
then
did it
is
into
that
the
question that you
separate.
should ask after so many months of doing programming?
I thought R is different from Python in some aspects, no, sir. Is this
Array,
also a
yaar.
difference?
Difference means what is var7? var7 is this. So
Yes, sir.
then if I'm using var4 equal to 5, so wherever I use var4, what does that mean? 5 only, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then
That's what I'm asking, sir. Directly we can go for that. No, that's
correct. That's what I'm saying. After so many months of program, you should not ask that question.
okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have done. Now we need to focus on loops and conditions. We'll do it tomorrow. Okay.
Okay,
We'll
sir.
also do operators like plus, minus, into, division. Of course, like how to do integer division, power, all those things we'll do tomorrow.